Back to class. Today is week 5, day 4. Today we're going to be looking at our GitHub issues page. This is a website you guys are all going to become familiar with, or you're going to quit your job and no longer be a developer. There's 2 options here, okay? You're going to get familiar with GitHub or that. We're going to look at what Facebook is doing on GitHub right now, okay? Let's just take a look at Facebook. You can see that they have a project called React. None of us here are skilled enough to work here. That's okay. But we're gonna look at this as an example. So none of you guys know how to create a package, right? Create something, put it on the internet so that people can run npm my package. This is what they're doing right now. And these are some of the issues that Facebook is facing. So we got 4 hours ago, something's going on with use subscription causing UI tearing in some random cases. There's a whole process to notifying people here. You guys can also see, obviously time, user, what type of issue it is, where the issue is. We have some type of genres so that people can quickly sort through them and find them. And you can sort them by many different ways, right? So we can look at let's see what Dan Ambermoth has done inside of here. A lot of shit, man. He's personally opened up issues when he's faced issues on React. He had to, as an open source developer, he had to follow the process. Even though he already works at Facebook, he had to create a new issue. He clicked this little button right here, right? He clicked this button. He filled out a whole bunch of shit that he needs to fill out in order for people to read him and understand what the problem is. And then afterwards, people talked about it. And if he did a good job, let's see what happens. If he did a good job and the team told him some other shit, they would merge his code into React. Okay? And these are also all concepts you guys should kind of be familiar with right now. He merged his code into the other code. This might be a web app. It might be an app that takes care of a robot. It could be an embedded system to talk to the heater, like the heat monitor on your engine to tell your computer on your computer that, hey, I'm overheating. That's what code does. It merges. Exactly. No. Man, dude, Facebook, this is just a project that takes care of React. Facebook's working on many other things. I would guarantee this is maybe one of 1,000 different projects that Facebook is working on, perhaps. This is the code that takes care of React.
So, but the person who's working on this error doesn't get all the code for React now, right?
No, he has it. We could all clone React right now. Let's go. Yeah. You can clone it right here. Clone it like this. So if you clone this, you will see the source code that it takes to create a project so that other people can download it. Okay? And just like I've advised you guys, there's a whole bunch of important files. These all do different things. Okay? Every one of these files does different things. They're not there for no reason. I don't want you guys to do that. Okay? That's not that you guys can work with React for many years and never ever have to do this. But I do want you to understand that this is a process and that there are issues with any open source project. As of right now, there are over 600 problems with React. And over the years, they've solved 7,000 problems. Okay? This content is valuable, and this is why GitHub was purchased for $8 billion or whatever, right? So anyway, that's what we're going to be building this week, guys. Okay? This is going to be our project. That's why I've walked through this. Yeah. So one more thing. Let's say one more thing. Maybe stop looking out there. Where the fuck do I find comments? Can I sort this by comments? There you go. Okay, so yeah, anyway, you guys can see that certain changes to an open source project, man, you gotta talk to 100 people. Look how many comments on this, man. 220. Man, if I posted on Facebook about cookies, I don't even know if I get that many likes. That many people talk about cookies, Here we go. Dan said something. I don't know. A bunch of people were talking about it. Okay? This is what we're gonna build, guys. This is content. You guys can hear me say that word a lot. Content might be it might be photos, it might be recipes, it might be GitHub issues. Okay? It might be anything. So we're gonna figure out how to do this for our project, and we're gonna add Markdown so that we can do this thing. You know how they have code, and it's formatted correctly. Formatting our code is very valuable. What do I mean by that? I have a chat, right? I have a chat right here on Facebook. I can chat with anyone, potentially. I could chat with my homeboys in Grab. Okay, these are my homeboys and grab. Okay? Or I could just chat to my boy Min. But what is the problem with chatting with Min on Facebook? If I send him code like this, it's unformatted. I can't read it. I don't understand what it says. There's no coloring. There's no syntax highlighting. It's a whole bunch of problems. So an app came out called Slack. How much is this motherfucker worth? Almost $40 billion. And the main thing that they did was help it. They solved one type of person's problem. I'm a software developer. I want to I want to message my coworkers, and I want to be able to send the code snippets easily. They solved that one problem, and they got $40 billion, essentially. So just know that like specialization and being able to do shit, like rendering code correctly on the screen is valuable. And when I tell you I want you guys to make this website good and to use Markdown and to make it like format the code correctly, make these buttons the correct sizes, make it look beautiful, I'm not joking. I want it to look good like this. And if you guys look at the code, the examples in here, you guys can see that someone here posted this code on GitHub, and here's a card. Here's the code for you, it's all free. Your job now is to just read it and then plug in the values. Where are we gonna get these values that go inside of here? Are we gonna make an API recall? If you guys read through these documentation for the project this weekend, you guys are going to see many things that I've already talked about and some of the things that I may have just talked about. I suggest you guys document your APIs with Postman. There are many APIs from GitHub, and you guys got to study this and test them. So for example, I can see that at this URL right here, api.github.com/users/primetimetrend, I see data about me. I see my company is the world's greatest to-do app. And I'm in Ho Chi Minh City. What if I put in someone else's GitHub? What would I see? Obviously, the data that they shared, right? For example, I don't know what Phil's is for some reason. Win fee. There we go. He hasn't filled out his profile. Whatever. This is just one of many APIs. We want you guys to do something like this. We're gonna call an API. I'm gonna give it to you right now. Don't even have to look around for it. This one right here will give you all of the issues for a specific open source project. This is all the data that you need right there. Okay? Does everyone who here understands what I just said? What did I just say?
Oh, you want us to use the API that you're going to post on Facebook?
Yes. Okay, and what is this right here? What is all this right here? It's what? It's a specific type of GitHub information. What type? Yeah? Issues related to what? A specific. Yes, GitHub is going to give you the information that there's a whole bunch of problems. Like these are all the issues that are related to this one repository. And watch this. We do the same thing for Facebook. Okay? Fuck me. Where'd it go? Repos. Yeah, hold on. React. Oh, no, Facebook, I think. Facebook. React. There you go. This is the data that you guys see right here. Obviously, we're gonna filter it. We're gonna display it in different ways. We need to highlight it visually and stuff like that. Okay. So I just want you guys to know that we're gonna get this data from GitHub today. It's fucking hot in here, yo. Mike, we need you to bring a sweater, buddy. I know you get cold, but you need to bring a sweater. It's hot as shit in there. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and live code. I'm sorry for lecturing you. So okay. So we're gonna run npm create React app. We're gonna run r GitHub GitHubs, because I already have something called r GitHub. Okay, so obviously we're doing this app. I give you a walkthrough of all the stuff that we need, okay? At the very bottom, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you to do this right now, okay? To do this right now, after you guys do it. This is gonna be the first step. I want you guys to copy all the code at the very bottom. That's inside this part where we say set up an OAuth server setup, okay? So, when we go to our project, I want you to create a file called .env. I also want you to create another file called server.js. Open up your code editor, go into your server.js, paste everything inside of here. Remember what I said yesterday about process.environment? Will this work? Okay, so how do we get this thing? We go to GitHub, this OAuth credentials. We go to GitHub, we go to settings, we go to developer settings. Obviously, you guys can just click the link, actually. And then inside of our developer settings, we see OAuth apps. I already have one. You guys will need to make one. I get the client ID and the client secret. And then, where do we paste it? We paste it inside of our .env. These are our secret files, okay? Some places actually, some frameworks actually calls the file secrets. They call it .secrets, you know? Okay, so what else is, that's not enough. We call it React app client ID. Okay, the next step is React app secret key. Oops. Secret key. Okay, I hope this works. So, what are we gonna do now? Just gonna console log both of these. We need both these things. We're gonna copy down. I actually don't think I need this one here, now that I think about it. Okay. This is console.log. Oops. We're gonna start our server. The next step is to start our server. And we're gonna be creating a node server. So you guys are about to start learning how to work with Node.js. So down here, you're gonna see that you just run node server.js inside the root of your project. And we got a problem. I copied the wrong code, my bad. My bad. I skipped ahead. Copy this code right here from this gist. Okay, we copy all this. Let's make sure we set up our server first. I expect this to fail. Last night, I was playing around with this, trying to get it to work again. Off the top of my head, couldn't get it to work. Then I had to look at my old project. Come on. So node server.js. Okay, so that seems to have worked. Now we're gonna do we're gonna read the instructions further, and we can see that instructions say that we need to add something to our app.js. We need to add this stuff right here. So I'm gonna copy this over. I'm gonna go back to our project. I'm gonna open app.js, and then change everything. Okay, delete everything and type in RCC. And then we're gonna add the constructor. This is some boilerplate code that's going to allow us to authenticate. If this has gone successfully, we'll see that line 14, we see this console log right here, if we have an access token. I know I'm breezing through this quickly, guys, sorry. So we also need to add in this environment variable. We need to grab this out of our environment, okay? So we're gonna copy it, move it to the top. What did we call our environment variable a second ago? React app client app, client ID. So we're gonna, put it right there. We're gonna constantly log this and test to see if we found it, okay? So we'll go back to our server and we'll run npm start. Okay, we've seen that our servers, our React app is popping up, and it seems, does that work? No, but this console log is coming from where? I think my computer needs to be reset. Okay, I started the wrong one, my bad. I started my old one. Okay, there we go. This is the new one I just made just a second ago, the new one. Okay, so basically, guys, when I ran the command, let's recap real quick. When I ran the command node server.js, we ran what is called a node process. It's called a node process. That's basically a server. They pretend that in the very near future, this thing right here that's in this file called server.js, just pretend it's gonna live on a different computer one day. Okay, you're gonna give this file to someone else, and they're gonna turn it on, and then you as a client, you as a React developer, just ask that server for information every now and then. Or what did we do yesterday? No, we posted data, right? We posted data to the server. So most of the times we're gonna be getting data, but we can also post data to the server. So right now, this is a little itty bitty server that we wrote in Node.js to serve as our server so that we can authenticate. And I believe that the reason why this is not popping up the thing is because I've already allowed this app. I can't see how I can delete it. Is it a session token? It's probably this one. Come on, baby. Okay. Okay, I think that, so now I see the behavior. Okay, so anyway, let's test, let's add an H1 to, all right, GitHub issues. And I see that we now have our GitHub issues. Obviously, if we're going to get data from this application, get data from GitHub to this application, we need to make a API request. So we're gonna find a new function. We call this one get my profile. Fetch my profile. What are we gonna do in here? We're gonna call it fetch. We're gonna paste in this URL right here. Except I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be feed anymore. So I'm gonna await this, make it asynchronous. We're gonna say that is our response. And then our next one is gonna be data. We're gonna await response JSON. And then lastly, we're gonna look at our data once we get it. So we want this to fire as soon as our component fires, right? Or as soon as our component mounts. So we're gonna call component did mount. And we're simply gonna call this method. So my expectation is that we're going to see, whenever we load this app, a console log on line 41 that says fetch my profile. And then afterwards, we're going to see something called data. So let's test. And it seems that we have done this correctly. Okay? You guys all understand how we got this console log here? Who understands how we got this console log here? Okay, so that's the step. I want you guys to set up your server, set up your new project, set up a server, set up your environment variables, get your profile. Okay? Then draw yourself on the screen.